you on. I'm going to share my screen and we're going to get this thing rocking and rolling. We get done early, okay? So I hope you have your notepads going, you know, be ready to write, take some screenshots, whatever you need to do to be able to help you go from here to here today. I am so super excited to be here to serve you, to help you any way I can. It will be a interactive session, so we're going to take you from the beginning to end, but by the time that it ends today, you should be able to go out and begin protecting families. Okay, and that's my goal, is to get you out there, get you quickly, get your goals in place, and help you begin protecting families. If you've been here before or have been in the businesses a little bit, then this is going to help you fine tune and adjust, because it's that one minor thing that you could do that will skyrocket and take you from here to here. And I'm telling you, one change has made tens of thousands of dollars of differences in many, many, many people's paychecks. So we're going to go through the full thing today, but there's going to be pieces that you're going to want to go back and visit. I'm going to give you resources to be able to do that. And so we're going to go ahead and get you started. Okay. So be sure to take notes. Now, today we are going to be doing the Alliance Boot Camp Power Up, an intense training that'll take you from the beginning to end. But the steps are really very simple to be able to get in place. A lot of it's going to be getting your rhythm down. Anytime you're learning something new, it's all about getting your rhythm down. I don't care what job you take, where you go, whatever it is, you've got to get acclimated to that and get a system down. And we're going to go through that system so you know precisely what it is that you need to do to be able to get your career. The money is always in the basics. I don't care what businesses it is. There are basic things that every business does. That's the core value, the core ways to be able to make money and stay viable. Okay, and you're in business for yourself. There's a lot of advantages to being in business for yourself, from flexibility, time freedom, to be able to schedule the important events inside of your life. Now, you've got to be intentional, though. You've got to get up, and you're still going to work, so to speak, but you're going to have that time ability, flexibility, and you're going to be able to make way more money than you do in most typical jobs out there, because there's a cap on everything, right? And so but you got to have some degree of self-discipline to make the money. Now, you can do this part-time and make great money part-time. It's going to be dependent upon what your goals are. You can do it full-time, but it's difficult to do it well in your spare time, and part of that is because you're constantly reorienting yourself. Where was I? What am I doing? And again, it doesn't mean you can't do it some spare time and still make money. Yet you're going to feel better and get traction if you're consistent at what you do. That's one of the keys to success, and that's true with anything in life. Even if you were dating, you were going out in the dating world and you dated every once in a rare while, well, you're not going to gain as much traction on that relationship as you would if you were dating consistently, even part-time. And obviously, the more you get to see each other, then that relationship can bloom and blossom into even a greater situation. So that's true. It's just a success principle no matter where you go or what you do. So even if you're doing this part-time or full-time, I'll help you define what that is. But our part-time people can easily, depending on what they make $50, $70, $100,000 plus. And for those that may know Minerve, and she started very part-time and she got into six figures doing it part-time. But the big tip that everybody wants to know is, how did you do it? And she was consistent. We'll give some additional tips and tricks, so that you can, but you're going to find that among everybody. I don't care who they are. So be encouraged by that no matter. All right, so let's do this. Now, one of the biggest things too is some of you may be working full time at a job. Um, you know, you may have a lot of life going on. So, what you always want to do is keep your dreams in front of you. Create a vision for your life so that you know where you're going. I mention oftentimes about Moses in the desert. The people wanted to be set away from their slavery type situation. They were, enslaved for over 100 years, and they really wanted their freedom. However, once they got their freedom in the desert, for those that may not be familiar with the story, is that they would grumble, gripe. They would, it would be better for us to be back and be slave because, they forgot what it was all about. Freedom has to be fought for, just like in our country. We have to fight for our freedom and just learn how to live. They had to learn how to live a different existence life. And it's easy to want to go back to what's comfortable, to whatever that situation is, instead of learning, stretching, and growing. And you're going to learn things. We're going to talk a little bit more about that because it's going to help you a tremendous amount. But anytime you're doing something new, you're going to be learning. And so again, like I mentioned a little bit ago, it's all about helping, you all have a brain. You all can do this. Every one of you, unless you're brain dead or you're in a coma or something, you're smart. You can learn new skills that can get you from point A to point B, and that's what this is about. We're going to teach you the skills, but you always want to work on your why, your who, because for you to learn to grow, you want to be able to develop and be excited about learning something new that can change you and your family's life. So always keep your dreams in front of you because that's what gives you the roadmap. For Moses and them, it was focused to taking them to a promised land where they can learn to live in a land of milk and honey. It was promised to them. That gold was there for them. All they had to do was go in and take the land and learn how to live for themselves instead of being in bondage and slavery. Now, the first time they came to the promised land, they sent a couple of scouts in and there were people inhabiting the land, but they said, we can take it. It's promised to us anyway. But there were some other people who said, no, we can't. And they wound up staying in the desert because they couldn't believe in themselves. They couldn't believe that that was really promised to them. So they wound up, and Moses had to lead people to that promised land, where the land of milk and honey. Okay. Um, and so this has been promised to you. Everything here, it isn't if it works. There's no question about it. NAA wouldn't be around. Life insurance industry wouldn't be around if it didn't work. So, you want to erase if it works. It's just getting in there and making it work for you. Going in and establishing your dominance, whether you want to make a dent, into the future and into the lives of others, or you want to have a greater impact. Andy Albright wants to have an enormous, ginormous impact on people's lives, and he's our leader, and the vision he has been incredible. We've already changed the life insurance industry. We've changed the borders. Carriers have changed the way they've done business because of NAA. In fact, a lot of the tools that Andy has seen and taught from the books that he's developed, from the 8 Steps to Success to the Millionaire Maker, they take that book and teach. Mutual of Omaha, Foresters, they have taken these books to go back to their companies to teach the programs and principles of what they have learned that's taught in here. And they'll tell you time and time and time again that there is nobody out like NAA out there. They have, they deal with more than NAA out there. But there's nobody with the culture, the training, the power. We're the number one submitter of life insurance business in the nation to these guys, and have been. I remember with Foresters, and giving you a little background because I wanted to fire you up because it blows me away with that we're on the right track. That it's crazy. But in 2006, I remember Foresters was coming to us. We only had one carrier, and F&G came, Foresters came along and said, we'd like to do business with you too. And they changed a few things to be able to do it, because we were breaking ground with mortgage protection. And so they said, okay, and we can handle your business. Well, they said they were ready for us, because they hear all the time, we're going to submit so much business, blah, 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 we're going to blow you away. And they're used to hearing that kind of stuff. And they go, yeah, yeah, yeah. And so they really thought they were ready for us. And I tell you, we submitted so much business in 1 month, that Foresters practically shut down. I mean, it took us, for Simplified Issue, almost a few months to get anything through, just because they didn't, the sheer volume that was coming through. And you'll see why Foresters is so popular in a few minutes. But just that sheer volume. They had to ultimately hire like 200 people to handle our business. And I lived through that, guys. I mean, it was absolutely mind-blowing, the impact we had on carrier. And then when Mutual of Omaha came along in 2009, now they were more ready for us. But they wanted to, it's a down economy. They wanted to grow their life insurance business in. They actually made the mortgage protection product for us, because that's not what they did before. They did regular traditional life insurance. And in 2 months, we were their #1 submitter of life insurance business in the nation in 2 months. And in 3, we had grown their entire life division 37%. I mean, carriers don't see that. We're still the #1. Columbian saw it, Phoenix saw it, everybody saw it, and they made programs for us. They took away, even with mortgage protection, they took away, you used to have had a mortgage to get mortgage protection. NAA made them break all those borders, and so now we can do anybody with our mortgage protection programs. It's still called mortgage protection because it's a niche, that's approved for in the different states and things like this. But anybody can get our Simplified Issue products, up to that maximum amount. You're not forced to get a mortgage anymore to get that program. And that's huge. And we continue to break barriers. Carriers are fighting to get in to do it, but we want to retain that #1 status. We want to retain the influence. We want carriers to be proud of us. I mean, there's a number of carriers, like, in fact, all of them. I can't tell you the behind the scenes meeting of how they wish they could just work with NAA. I'm serious. And it's mind-blowing to watch that, because of our culture, our goal for excellence and doing the right thing for the right reason, our family atmosphere, God Family Company, training systems that we have. And so I want you to be proud of that. I want to give a little bit of a background history, because I've lived it, so that you can feel comfortable. You can find a home here. A home where, and this next leap of what you're about to go through, that they've just rolled out recently, and what's coming ahead in the next few months is absolutely mind-blowing. I was in at corporate headquarters about last week, and was with Burke Hedges, who's a very famous author. He's written You Inc. and a number of big business books way back out there. And this is corporate headquarters, folks, for those that might not have been there. We've got about 4 massive buildings. But I was inside of a room, just him, myself, and Diane Lampy. And we had, and where we're going to take it is going to be so viral. We had 4 or 5 massive boards. 4 or 5 massive boards that took up an entire room of what we're going to do to put this thing on a viral activity, going to businesses, and it's going to be crazy, guys. I'm just telling you. I can't tell everything that's on that board, but let me tell you what, it's absolutely mind-blowing what's going to be happening. So hang on to your hats. This is a career, this is a company where you can have the independence. You're not so tied to corporate that you got to show up or you're fired. You're not so independent where you're having to create all the systems yourself. They've created it. They take care of all the legal state-to-state issues, because we got TV programs. We mail out 1 million letters a week to people all across the nation. And there's a lot of compliance things that go around it. I remember Andy telling me one time, or it might have been, it was Clay actually, one of the lead department, and he was telling me that this one county in California, after all these years of mailing, had decided that we had insurance at the top of the letter instead of the bottom of the letter, and they were going to fine us like $300,000. I mean, something ridiculous. And of course, they were able to easily get out of that because Andy's got a fantastic legal department too. But it's crazy what they have to deal with. And if you were in business completely by yourself, these are the compliance type things that you would have to worry about if you were that independent. Being connected with somebody, and Andy spends a lot of money. I love this. Most people love to gain power because they want to own you. They want to own somebody else. They want to gain power for oftentimes selfish, egotistical reasons. Andy gains power to empower us. He gains influence in the market to give us an unfair advantage in the marketplace. And he doesn't want to be behind. He wants to be known for changing the industry and giving us that unfair advantage. So the reason why I take a little bit of time to share this with you is I want you to be proud of who you are. You can plant your flag, and feel like that you can grow with the company. Andy's not looking to sell it. How many times have you been with a business or a company that all they were doing is kind of using you to help you get it built up and then turn around and sell it so they can go home and retire, but then you're left starting all over again, and you can plant your flag here. He's wanting to lead this forever and ever and ever. He could have sold NAA many times over. So, be proud, be comfortable that you can build the lifestyle, and he's working to create that kind of lifestyle where nobody can do what we can, and that's going to be a lot of advantage things for you. How about that? Everybody fired up on that? I get myself fired up. So anyway, so let's do this. Let's keep your dreams in front of you. It's worth, taking this journey and going down this road, and it's worth you learning to get good at. Okay. Now, anytime any business, I don't care what business it is, unless you're a McDonald's where you can instantly throw up your golden arches and spend $1 million for that franchise, so to speak, to get it up and going. A lot of big upstart cost. But the biggest issue for most companies is spending 90% of their time trying to find clients. That's the biggest challenge, and that's true for mortgage, real estate, doctors. I've worked for those that may not know me, I worked in heart surgery, did a lot of heart surgery, transplants, critical care, you name it, I did. I took care of the deadest of the dead. And if you died on me, you were going to come back, I promise you. But I enjoyed doing what I was doing, but it was crazy. We grew our doctors from 5 heart surgeons to over 100 in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And I remember a couple of the doctors that came down, they were from Harvard, okay? And they had this Harvard mentality that no one could, touch them, right? That they're going to, and the whole world was going to roll out the red carpet for them. Well, they had a rude awakening because other doctors didn't know them, trust them, and they certainly didn't like their attitude. That they were just these haughty-taughty kind of guys who they had to go in and prove themselves. They had to pick up patients from the ER and work the ER to begin to do the clientele and get themselves on a rotation. It took them almost 2 years before some of the doctors, they did enough heart surgery through that beat or a scattered referral for them to be able to get consistent referrals from other doctors. And let me tell you, 90% of your time can be in the beginning trying to find clients. They've got to know you're open for business. And so that's the reason why many businesses fail, or people may have a hard time, is because they don't have clients to go out and see. They don't know how to get that engine started. And so they're really doing 10% of their money in profits on business alone. And they can leave a lot of people broke. I mean, they just can't last through that period. They lack systems, training, support. They're not sure how to go through it. Doesn't mean they didn't have the talent to do it. They just didn't know how to get in there and get it done. So here we've got a lot of systems in place. And if you don't know what your opportunity is or the things that you can have, you've got just a lot of resources that you can tap into that we're going to be consolidating. And I can't tell you what's coming. It's just going to be mind-blowing. But you've got the freedom of what you want, but you've also got the support. And we're here to help you have fun, make money, and make a difference in people's lives with our system and the programs that we can use to impact those people's lives. So now our system is designed to help most people, even very part-time, make an average of $75,000 to $125,000 your first year. That's what it's designed to do. Now, it's a whosoever doeth business, so that's going to be dependent upon you. You're going to have others that'll make less than that because they, due to life circumstances or whatever the case may be, they may not be able to go out there and hit it quite the same. But even a consistent part-time basis, and I'm going to use Minerva a lot. I got many other stories. I know Beoti's on here. She's got amazing stories. Glenda, other people who may be on here. Lucy, I know even part-time, she went out and did amazing things. So you can do amazing things in just a very short period of time. We got progressive products. Most of our stuff is going to be simplified issues, so it's designed for fast approvals and fast pay. Okay, so that, most life insurance companies, for those that may not know, do fully underwritten. They draw blood, urine, all this stuff. In fact, I was doing a policy review with an agent yesterday, and these people a year ago were fully underwritten, draw blood. The husband was approved. The wife was approved, but the amount they approved her for was, hundreds of dollars higher than what she could even afford to do because he did fully underwritten. And we could have done a similar program, got better living benefits, and they only covered him for 10 years. I mean, I thought, oh my gosh, it's crazy. So most of our stuff that we do is simple issue. Don't play games with people's. Let's go with what we're really sure we can approve them for. We do fully underwritten, mean we do draw blood, urine, all that for certain programs, but it's going to be rare. Your bread and butter is going to be simple issue. By the way, like I said, we're number one with our carriers. We've got dedicated underwriters that can review our programs that only work with NAA. Mutual of Omaha, Foresters, Columbia, and all that. We got dedicated underwriters. And we've got special programs, and we're the masters of the hard to do. So no matter when you walk into a home, let's take a couple of companies like New York Life and Hartford or whoever that just, may want the really super healthy people. I'm using as an example. Not to come down, and it works for them too. But if they walk into a home, they're designed to take care of primarily the healthy people, right? Well, if Pop has had a stroke and Mom's healthy and she's wanting coverage for him too, she may or may not get something on her because you're not helping him. You know, when we walk into a home, we can virtually have something to help people have the money fall back on with anybody. Is that an unfair advantage, guys? I mean, who is that family going to look to take care of you? They're going to look to care of you. You're the person. You're the person that they're going to turn to. You're the one who's going to refer. Oh my gosh, they took care of my mom and she had cancer a couple of years ago, or on and on and on. And so you can use that to your advantage to get a lot of referrals and things like that. Again, we've got crazy lead systems, training systems. We've got amazing trips, recognition bonus programs. You're going to be rewarded and awarded for making a difference in people's lives. It's a family environment. I don't care where you go, the Alliance, we love on you. We want to help you succeed no matter where you live, no matter where you go. I don't care. Just don't try to be a hermit unto yourself. Reach out and let us know, because we want to love on you. We don't want you to stay stuck. If you're stuck, reach out and say, hey, I'm stuck on this, to let us know. So you're in a family environment where we want to do the right things for you. We have Good Samaritan programs where we love to give back in charity. We love giving back. In fact, and we got amazing multi-million-dollar retirement programs Andy rolled out this year. He gave 71 people. This was his initial wave, because there's a lot of legalities to it, but he rolled out 71 people and gave them multi-million-dollar retirement programs he's funding. It's not like a 401k where you got to contribute and keep it going. He funded it. I mean, NFL players don't get what these people play. It's like if you got a $10 million contract, I mean, if you died, that'd change your family's life, right? But these programs are designed to grow where, they'll be worth 15, 20 million plus. And so, again, this is a company that's going to help you, um, you know, with its unfair advantages. But it's also not just about making money, it's about giving back. We want to spread the love, so to speak, and help impact people. These were 2017 type numbers, because I don't have 2018 numbers, but we've given over like $300,000-$400,000 to charities all around the world. If you hit certain benchmarks, Andy with the Good Samaritan bonus program this year, he's going to take the sum total of what you did and what you might have earned, and then you're going to get to pick a charity of your choice to be able to donate money to that charity. And it's nice to be able to give back. In fact, Foresters was so inspired by that, they actually put a charity piece to give back. Let's see, good. Okay, I thought somebody was waiting in there. But to give back to the charity, they put a charity piece built into their life insurance policies because they were so inspired what Andy was doing to give back to the world. So anyway, we can take a breath. enough promotional stuff. Okay, but again, it's important. If you don't know what you've got a hold of, it's not the height of your knowledge that people buy into. It's the depth of your conviction. And the more you're convicted, you're in the right place doing the right things to help people and understand your opportunity. You're going to be able to do more than you can ever imagine on it. So it's important to cover that with you.